What's up, guys? It's Drac, we did it! 31 videos and not a single one late. Yep, it's true. They all showed up at exactly 5 p.m. Eastern time, just like this one. So the end of year video is more of, we didn't script it. I've been thinking about kind of what I want to say and what I've said every year before. I usually try and collect it by reflecting on the goals from last year, which historically we've done a pretty good job of accomplishing, and then talking about what my goals are for the next year. I also usually take a second to hop on my soapbox and reiterate that I think that the concept of resolutions are stupid. There's actually, as long as we're on the soapbox, there's never been a better year to prove that the concept of resolutions are just inherently flawed and very silly. 2020, if nothing else, proved that everybody who said that they were going to do that thing, start that thing, begin that thing, if only they had more time, if only blah, 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 blah. Like, 2020 has proved unequivocally that that's not true. The time to start anything was yesterday, and if you're not already actively doing it, talking about doing it just makes you a clown. So I think that resolutions are silly, but I will do my usual thing and reflect on the goals from last year. If that last blurb, now that I'm playing it back in my head, sounded a little bit harsh to you, then perhaps you should begin whatever it is you're thinking of doing or telling people that you're planning on doing, because I'm sure that you'll find, like a lot of people this year, that there's tons of people willing and excited to support you in whatever your dream goal venture is. You just have to start. That's the hardest part. Just begin. So our goals from last year included a few different things. We wanted to launch certain products. We wanted to go back to China. We wanted to go back to China. Whoops. There were a few other things. A lot of the goals around last year revolved around goals for the Foam Pro Tour, goals for End War, and that's been put on pause. But with the vaccine right around the corner, it looks like there is hope for 2021 to be a year where we do get to, in fact, see one another outside of this wonderful digital ecosystem that we found and created in 2020. And I'm hopeful that we'll get to kind of move some of those goals forward. So our goals for 2021 are quite simply to kind of carry some of the ones from 2020 over. A lot of people just pushed pause on this year. We did a lot of other stuff. I had no intention of starting a web store in 2020, and that went great. I similarly had a lot of plans for End War, and those kind of had to be put into a box and moved into the future. So our goals for, both the Foam Pro Tour and End War in this coming year are, I want the Foam Pro Tour to have more teams registered, and I know that a lot of you guys have been practicing. And I want to provide an even bigger cash prize for that, which should be possible given this incubation period, and also to just take advantage of moving End War 2020 into End War 2021. It gave us a lot more time to refine some of our volunteer positions. It's given us time to work on our props, to work on the game itself. Like, 2 years to work on an invitational is a lot more time than 1 year to work on an invitational. I think that that's really going to show through in terms of the overall quality and polish of the game that we get to deliver to you. And fingers crossed, that will still be happening on track in summer of 2021. I know that we've had a conversation with the university, and they seem on board as long as the world kind of never is going to return to normal because of what a just anomaly this year has been. But as we return to some semblance of functionality, I suppose, or whatever that's going to look like in the coming year. I still want to get to China. I still have some goals now involving the Foam Pro Shop, but also involving different client work that I need to get over to China to work on. And that's a very exciting premise. They've already digitized New York Toy Fair in February, so don't expect a ton of content for that. But there's a lot of exciting things happening in Toy World as a lot of these designers and what have you have had this time working from home to really refine some cool stuff. Anything else? I think that's it. Like, this year has pulled us all apart as a community, but it's also brought us together. We've done some digital events that have been really cool. The Discord groups have been really awesome. The Facebook groups have been really awesome. Reddit's still a dumpster fire. But a lot of creators have really experienced growth in this year, some of which have really come up. I know that multiple channels hit over 100,000 subscribers this year. So like, huge shout out, congratulations to them. I think it's just Xavier and Walcom, but I'm sure that there are more on the way. A lot of people have really put in their time, put in their work, and that is just exciting to watch. I know that a lot of these guys have refined down their content and found strides that work better for them. And we're excited to explore more ways to make content in the future. I know you guys have noticed we got a glide cam. We've really broken it in this month. We picked up a new camera, a new audio system, and while we haven't used it in every single video, it's really opened our eyes up to the possibilities of the kind of content that we can be making and how diverse we want to do some of that content. We also are really excited. We've started working on props, and I've personally started working on jewelry again. These are just things that made me happy in 2020. And doing things that make you happy is never a waste of time. Neither the props nor the jewelry are in exactly the position we want them to be to get them in front of the camera again, but they're both developing very well. I haven't made jewelry personally in 6 years, and even then it was always just kind of like a hobby job, a jobby, if you will. And so I'm excited to be back into the swing of things and doing cool stuff over there. The prop stuff has been awesome. We're really inspired by The Mandalorian, which I think is the best television being produced right now. And so we've got some cool stuff coming from that. Just a lot of, there are some good things. And as we kind of put 2020 in the books and think about all the things that it's taken away from us, I think it's important to remember that. In particular, remember how everybody treated others during the pandemic, but it's also important to take away from it the good things. I get to spend a lot of time with my pet. Jinx is absolutely, she has no idea what's going on, but she adores how little travel we've done in 2020. And so we're just really kind of stoked to move into 2021 and take those good things with us, port some of those goals over, share some of the new things that we've learned with you guys through the lens and through these experiences and events that we're hoping to happen. Before End War happens, Foam Fest 2021 is currently happening, and assuming international travel is possible, I plan on not just bringing myself, but also my company with me. So it'll be really great to get to interact with European and UK Nerfers again. I miss you guys so much. There's a lot of other events happening. I know that Jared's gung-ho to do the epic Nerf battle in Texas, and I hope that that goes great. I'm looking forward to a new dawn. And I think that in some level, we all are. So I want to point out two final things, two closing thoughts to kind of send 2020 in a video every day in December off into the void. And I don't know if we'll ever do it again. It's been exhaustive creatively. We did it again because it's fun at first, but towards the end here, it's really burnt out the company. And we're going to take a break going into January. It might be, a dozen days before you see us again, but in closing, I want to point out that there's a promo code. It's only good for New Year's Day. So you got to, if you've been waiting to pick up something on Foam Pro Shop, we've opened up a lot of inventory on the shop. We've got some really cool stuff on there. Nick's cages and tooth and nail minis are available. And they're part of this discount. It's everything. If you've been looking to pick up one of our t-shirts, we have new t-shirt designs coming, and they're on the web store with this discount code. But the discount code is just New Dawn. It's 13% off, and it's good for one day only, January 1st. Starts live at midnight tonight, so you'll be able to use it starting then. Other than that, I just want to wish you guys, more than any other point in my unlife, a Happy New Year. Good riddance, 2020. I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love, blast on, Drac out.